Hey, what's up everybody? And today I will be doing my first Q&A. I will be answering all the questions from the video I requested questions on. I would like to thank everyone who submitted questions, and they will be answered very shortly. If you feel like I was a bit dodgy on your question or anything, it's only because I'm trying to make this be done in ample time. I have about 13 questions and about 13 or so minutes to actually answer them. So I'm going to be doing the best I can here to make it in time. Some of these questions feel like they could have been entire videos on their own, so you will see me mention that a few times as well. So with that being said, let's get started. First question here is from Team Morello 1. What are your favorite skins to use on Gears 3? Well, I would have to say Anthony and Kim, like I've mentioned in videos before, for COG. I like to throw in a little bit of everything else once in a while. This game on Prescott. This gameplay, by the way, nothing special. It's just something I felt would match the time. As far as the locusts go, I would have to say the sniper, the grenadier, and the Cantus are usually my main things I play as. As far as weapon skins go, I usually like to use the Onyx things, maybe some of the flame every once in a while. I'm a person who tends to use things that other people don't, but in this case, I just like the solid black look. I think it's just really clean and just kind of there. What's your favorite and least favorite changes in Gouge? Well, I've already done an entire video on that, so I point you towards that. But you know, like I said, main things. You know, no grenade plants. You know, they're taken out down but not out for the most part. So I mean, at least there's no like ridiculous humping 24/7 all the time. You know, beat down less than 10 minutes. But that's exaggerated, of course. But yeah, there's just subtle little changes that I like in Gouge, and there's subtle little changes I don't like in Gouge. We'll just have to see how it goes. I really do point you towards the video. I've done it already, though. Next question here is from Rijmeister. If I could play with any Gears YouTuber, who would it be? I would have to say Gold Glove, because I've actually never played with him. I feel like I've played with pretty much everyone else, even if they know it or not. Like Arctic, I played in his open lobby maybe about a year ago or so. So yeah, as far as that goes, I guess I'd have to choose Gold Glove. This next question here is, if you could add any character in Gears, who would you add? I'm not sure if he means add as into my friends list, or as in like the actual game, like add in a character. So if I had to add one to my friends list, I guess I'd say Marcus, because you know, who doesn't want a guy that knows how to party and go, "Anya, we need the hammer!" But if I could add anyone to the game, I would say Carlos. If you don't know who that is, that's Dom's older brother. He died in Aspho Fields in one of the books. They talk about him a lot in that. He seems like a really cool guy. I'd just like to see what kind of character design they have for him. His final question here is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? I really never know how to answer these questions, like the superpower one, because I don't have to pick one. I don't know. I can't really decide. I guess the ability to get more views, or to, you know, be the best at all games or something. Something like that. Or actually, you know, one that's a bit underrated is like the ability to animate inanimate objects. I think that would be pretty cool. Sort of like a telekinesis kind of thing, but you can like actually make the object like do stuff and like, you know, bend to your will and sort of be like minions for you. Like imagine like a lamp, you know, just doing stuff for you. You might think, what? But I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with something here. Be original. Anyway, moving right along here, we got from a Tiny Wizard. What is your favorite character in any game? I thought about this one a lot here, and I tied between Gordon Freeman from Half-Life and Auron from Final Fantasy X. And I'm going to go with Auron from Final Fantasy X, just because I played that game forever, and it's just one of the greatest ever. Next question, would you rather have no arms or legs? I would have to say no legs, because, you know, at least I can still feed myself, you know, play games, that kind of stuff. Would you rather get high or get drunk? Honestly, neither one really, but I guess like drunk or something. I don't know, maybe with like my girlfriend or something, that'd be kind of funny. Next question here from Singosha. What got you into competitive gaming? Now that is definitely a video on its own. I might do that in the future. Well, I'll try to simplify it here and just say friends. I mean, we kind of just started a little COD 4 competitive team way back in the day, kind of messed around with that a bit. Never really went anywhere, obviously. And yeah, that just it's kind of one of the little things. One thing that really got me into it was, even before then, was I used to watch like Counter-Strike and StarCraft and stuff, like I still do now. And I never really got into playing it back then, because you know, when you're a kid, no one really respects you when you're on the mic, and communication is really important. I always had to just type stuff if I played PC. So yeah, I just I would have to say that when you're a kid, just try to play and and watch competitive. Try to just learn, observe. You will observe. You will listen. You will learn. But yeah, you have to wait until you get a deep enough voice so people can respect you. And you know, even then, you have to, you know, you have to build your brain. I feel like kids aren't really smart enough to play games to a certain extent. I mean, sure, they can run around and get some lucky kills and stuff like that, but I mean, anyone can do that. That's why I don't really like COD, because it's sort of just no brain activity going on. You just kind of run around and do stuff. But yeah, that's my answer to that for now. Next question here again from Team Morello 1. I remember you telling me about Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, which is your favorite. I don't really have a favorite episode. I guess I would point you towards the movie was pretty good that he did. Abridged, by the way, means he's not talking about something that's like an actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, but it's something that it's like a voiceover thing done jokingly. It's really funny. His channel actually got taken down recently, so you'd have to go on the website to get a good look at that. One thing I remember he did not too long ago was it was called the Vagina Monologues, and he would take every other word and replace it with the word vagina, and it got pretty hilarious after a while. Next question here is, what is your favorite TV show when you were a kid? I have no idea. You'd have to give me like an age range. I point you to give me this question again in the future and give me an age range, because I have no idea how to answer this in general. Next question here is from Young Mokuba. What is your favorite band? I had to say Foster the People for that. If you don't know who that is, it's like an indie rock band. I encourage you to look them up. They've only released one album so far called Torches, and I've listened to that at least over 100 times, and it's about 50 minutes long. I usually listen to it like right when I go to bed. I just lay in bed and listen to it. I just really love that album. That's like the one band where I can listen to every song in their album and just be like, yeah, that was awesome. You know, I like other bands too. One of my favorite genres is metal, and I like instrumental stuff. I don't really like the screaming and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't really have particular favorite bands other than that. Next question here from Modded Talent is, why did you choose to study biology? I want to punch you in the face for this question, because honestly, I don't really know. And I feel like I could give a little bit of information to you kids out there. Maybe you're like 15 or something, and your parents are kind of stressing you to choose what you want to do. I've almost completed my first year of college, and I have no idea what I want to do really. So you have plenty of time. Don't worry about it. Just try to pick something and roll with it. So I was thinking about law or doing something towards medicine, which would be biology, and an initial step towards that. And, you know, I'm just trying to stick with it for now and see what happens. Otherwise, I don't really know. I just kind of want something where I can get a decent career and just roll along with it. You know, I feel like I'm pretty decent at science, but I don't really like doing math, so that kind of throws out chemistry and physics, so I end up in biology. And that's towards medicine, so that's pretty cool. Next question here is, what does a partnership do for you, or what can it do? Yeah, for that, I really point you towards just looking that up, because I don't really feel like talking about that very much. Basically, the main perks are getting a banner and being able to get money, stuff like that. You know, thumbnails, all that kind of stuff. I already have thumbnails actually, because I got monetized through YouTube directly. But I can actually earn money because all my footage is on games. You have to get partnered to a network, because networks actually pay off game companies to let us do videos on their games, which is pretty cool. You know, there used to be old methods for partnering channels. You used to just put up a video on the network's channel you got partnered with, and they'd give you money that way. You know, it's sort of like what we do with the Nova channel, but it's not the same at all. But basically, you send in a video, and then they upload it to their hub channel, and then you get a split of that money. But then they figured out you can just partner the entire channel, and they've just been doing that for a while now. So yeah, I really just point you towards just looking that up. Next question here is from HSU Tony. What are your 5 greatest games you've ever played of all time, and why do you think those are the best? Well, I made a little list here to try to guide me through this question. This is in no particular order, and I feel like I have at least 50 games that are pretty much tied for first place here. There's a lot of games I wish I could have included in this list, so don't feel mad that I didn't leave in your favorite titles. But here we go. Final Fantasy X, Half-Life, Gears of War 1, I specified that. I said Half-Life in general. Then I said Counter-Strike, meaning Counter-Strike in general, and then Halo 3. The reason I chose Halo 3 instead of Halos in general was because I feel disappointed by Halo 4 and Reach. They didn't really meet my expectations. Halo 4 had a great campaign. I feel like it was better than Reach, but the multiplayer just doesn't really deliver for me. I feel like the servers are kind of trash, and the game just kind of feels like it's made out of construction paper. I've mentioned that before. It just doesn't flow right for me. If you like it, you know, that's good for you. But I chose Final Fantasy X because, like I said earlier, when I chose Auron as my favorite character, it's just my favorite single-player game ever, pretty much. I did every damn thing in that game, and then I got to the final boss battle, and my disc actually cannot read the final boss battle. That's really strange, isn't it? That's like the only case I've ever heard of that, where your disc works for the entire game but the final boss battle. And yeah, I actually went and did everything in that game. I've never technically beat it. as far as like one last little thing. I chose Half-Life because that's a really good single player series. A lot of mods are from that game. I feel like a lot of my favorite games are modded from Half-Life. I chose Gears of War 1 because it's my favorite of the Gears series. You know, Gears 3 is a really good game too. Gears 2 is kind of sometimes. But yeah, I chose Gears of War 1 because, you know, why not the original? It's fucking tits, bro. Counter-Strike, of course, because I feel like it's the most balanced first-person shooter, team, tactical-based game. Probably one of the greatest games out there for competitive. I chose Halo 3 because I know a lot of people would say why not Halo 2, and I think Halo 2 had the best multiplayer as far as bringing people together, that kind of stuff. But Halo 3 had the longest living life of any Halo game for me, and I really just loved it. I feel like Halo 3 was an amazing game, you know, any way you look at it. It just had a great feel. It was original. I felt like just a great game. And I wish other games gave me that kind of feeling that Halo 3 did these days. But, you know, like I said, I feel like I could have put a lot of other games in these places, you know, like Crash Bandicoot, stuff like that, just really old school stuff. But these are just the ones that I'd happen to choose. Next question here is from Invid1337. If Judgment is a game you don't like, what content would you put out? Even though Judgment will be good, just asking. Well, I've kind of addressed this question before. I feel like I would try to make Judgment work. If it doesn't work, you know, it's just trial and error here. I would go back and do other Gears games, you know, Gears 1, Gears 2, Gears 3, Windows, whatever you want. And then, you know, I'd try to branch out and do commentaries on sort of all games in general, sort of like East Chill does. And, you know, it would just be trial and error, man. I'll just try to make whatever works. What the people like, I'll give them. And, you know, whatever I can enjoy, I'll do as well. Next question here from Apache. If you met Cliffy B, would you smack him in the nose for introducing the stupid sawed-off shotgun? Funny story, actually, I have seen Cliff Bleszinski once, never actually met him, never talked to him. I just don't really feel like the kind of person to address someone that's sort of famous, really. I mean, you know, what am I going to say? Oh my god, you're Cliffy B, dude! But no, I'm not gonna not gonna be like the fanboy that gets all excited and stuff. You know, I don't think I'd even approach him. So, I mean, I wouldn't smack him in the nose. I mean, he did make Gears of War, you know, or at least he helped, you know, a big part of it. You know, he has left Epics for the most part. I don't know if he's coming back. I heard some rumors that he's gonna do something, but that's down the road. I'm not really worried about that right now. But no, I've seen, like I said, I've seen him once. I saw him getting out of his car. I was maybe 100 feet from him or so. I only live 30 minutes away from Epic, you know, like their headquarters thing. So, yeah, it's not surprising I ran into him. I think that probably happened shortly after the release of Gears 2, so I wasn't, you know, enraged by the sawed-off or retro just yet. You know, maybe if it was closer to the release of Gears 3, I would have went out and been like, hey, motherfucker, why? Why would you do this to us? But, that's it for that question. Next one here is from Cal McKenzie. Perhaps you could talk about trying hard. When is it appropriate to go all out? What if the other team is getting smashed? Well, for that, I would have to say that if you're in something like Quick Match or even Ranked, or actually, let me go ahead and specify my philosophy on playing in general. I always try to win, but unless it's something like a match where it's really fair, I'm not going to try my ass off or anything. You know, if the other team is sort of got the upper hand on us indefinitely, I will, you know, just try to maintain, you know, a respectable score and try to help my team win the best I can. But, you know, I'm not going to go insane and, you know, sort of really get in there like I normally would if it was like a real competitive game. I'm not going to play carefully and everything. If it's something like Quick Match and, you know, we're just dominating them, I'm going to pick up the snipe and spin in circles trying to get a blindy. And if I ever get one, you will see that, but probably not. I'm really hoping just one of these days I'm just going to spin in a circle and I'm going to kit some dude. And it's going to be a super and it's going to be beautiful. But, yeah, that's it for that question. I could probably do an entire video on that. It's just really hard to say. I know people get really pissed off about people trying hard and stuff, and even I do too when it's just not necessary. But next question here is, which do you think is the prettiest map? This is a really hard one. Gears just has some really good artwork. I feel like they have some of the greatest maps, like as far as like texture design and stuff like that. But I guess I would have to say, this is a strange one, I know. Gridlock, the nighttime one on Gears 3. I don't know, it just has a good feel to it as far as like the look of it. Or maybe Hotel. Hotel's really nice too. I kind of like dark stuff that just looks kind of unique. I can't really think of too many other ones like off the top of my head that I really like, especially that are unique. So yeah, just try to deal with me on that one. But I will definitely say that Gears has some of the greatest artwork for maps. Final question here, and with just enough time, are you religious? It's a funny story, actually. Not really. and I go to a school where they make us take a course. It's like Introduction to Christianity, and when I approach religion, I like to think of it as just something that keeps people from just being in total anarchy. At its core sometimes, because I feel like a lot of people, if they didn't believe in something and think that there was a purpose to life, that they would just go out of control and be like animals. So, you know, as someone like me who is more rational and can understand things, you know, scientifically and historically, I don't really need something like religion for that. And, you know, I'm not saying that's the only purpose of religion. You know, maybe it's true. I can't prove that it's not. So I don't know. I'm not a 100% believer, but I go back and forth. So you just had to bear with me on that. That's about it, all the time I got here for this. Thank you guys so much for all these questions. I'll be sure to do another one of these as soon as I have enough questions to do it. Leave some questions in this video, put some in the future videos. You guys have a good one. I'll put a little joke video at the end of this. I like to do that a little bit sometimes. You guys have a good one. Peace out.
Ah, shit!